Well, welcome to practice tonight. Tonight's mindful practice kicks off another week of our sort of brief study of the yamas in the Yoga Sutras. And this week we are going to be using the yama of Asteya as our inspiration. Asteya means non-stealing. The letter A in front of any root word usually means not or none or the negative of. And so steya is the root word for stealing. And so non-stealing in a yogic sense can mean a lot of different things. Of course, it's a very traditional meaning, just the same as it is for us. And in most religions, there are doctrines and principles and rules or commandments about non-stealing. And so obviously we don't want to steal, we don't want to take what is not ours in the sense of harming our neighbor or another person. But I like to look at some of these principles a little more deeply and introspectively. So one of the best ideas around non-stealing that I have read is stealing from yourself, and mainly the commodity of time. So what happens when we let our mind go in so many different directions? Are we present for ourselves? Are we embracing and enjoying in the fullest sense each moment of our life as it passes by? When we are allowed to let the mind run amok and always think about something that's going to happen in the future, always be trying to be one step ahead of where we are right now, we lose where we are right now. We lose these precious, beautiful moments that are the only thing that is truly real in our life. This moment right now, this series of breaths that you're taking. And I just think that's such a simple but profound idea, and it really comes back to finding presence and mindfulness. And so in our practice, if we can try to stay very mindful and present with each aspect of the practice, whether could be just breath by breath, but definitely posture by posture, and not worry about what's ahead, and not even worry about where I'm going to guide you to in the next position, but really embrace and fully appreciate and enjoy every single minute and subtle aspect of the practice as it moves along. Then you will have gained such a fullness and such vitality from the practice that I think it's just a whole different experience. And by the same virtue, we have embraced those moments for ourselves rather than allowed them to be stolen away. So we're going to begin tonight on our back. I have a really full flow. We have a little bit of everything going on in this practice, so not one thing in particular, but we'll start off slow as usual. If you have a blanket nearby, I didn't put this in the notes, but if you have a blanket, I'm going to suggest that we begin in a supported bridge pose. So I'm going to just suggest that you make the blanket fairly a nice little stack, or a blanket roll would probably be a little bit too thick because you're going to be putting it right on the lower back. A bolster is sometimes nice, but I'm just going to kind of go halfway tonight with a bit of a stacking of the blankets. You could even put two blankets, one on top of the other. So we'll begin by shifting downward, and we're going to stretch out the quads and psoas. So just lay back on your upper back, lift up your hips, and position that stacked blanket just on top, or rather underneath the sacrum. And if it's not too terribly high, you can probably release both legs out extended. Sometimes when we have the bolster underneath, I suggest that we only do one leg at a time. If this is for any reason too extreme, feel free to just rotate back and forth and bend one knee, which gives a little relief on the other side. But if you feel okay, go ahead and extend both legs all the way down. And we'll just bring the arms wherever they're comfortable. It can be on your belly, it can be out to the side. Just find a place where you can relax and let go just for the first few minutes. And even now, let's begin to start the practice of becoming very mindful, one breath at a time. Letting go of any thoughts of the day, whatever activities you've been involved in. You will have plenty of time to revisit all of those notes, all of those to-do lists in your mind. Just right here, right now. Feel your hips as they're elevated and see if you can relax and release through the quadriceps and through the hips. Let your feet roll either in or out, whichever way is more comfortable for you to relax. And bring your awareness to your breath. Just notice the pace and the cadence of your breath. As you become more mindful in each particular moment, see if you can elongate the breath just a little bit. Softly bringing it in, feeling the lungs begin to balloon and open up. And then maybe bringing in a little bit more than you might normally do. Slow it down. Release it out. Feel your body as it is accepted down into the structure of the earth. Nowhere else you need to be right at this moment, but present for yourself. How much there is to notice about yourself when you quiet the mind. Do you feel the temperature of your body and the skin and the air that is touching your skin? Can you notice areas of tightness? Where tension still resides. Slow down the breath a little bit more. See if you can elongate the inhalations. Maybe even hold that breath in at the top of your inhale. Feel the little buzz of activity and energy that it brings. And release it out.
relaxation, more peace. Let's do 5 more full breaths just like this. Two more breaths. Inhaling, offer yourself the affirmation if you wish. I am present in each moment, present for it all. Present for each moment, mindful and present for it all. Alright, maybe begin to bend your knees, slide your feet up the mat. Bring your arms down on either side if you had them up above. Lift up your hips just enough so that you can slide that blanket out. Just keep it on the side of your mat, close by. We'll use it later on, and then just let the lower back recede all the way down. Bring your hands now to either side of your hips. Roll the shoulders back. Lift your heart and chest, but keep the full real estate of the spine pressing down. Presence and groundedness of your body touching the earth through your foundation. And then we'll inhale, take a little pelvic tilt, press the pubic bone up toward the ceiling, just rolling your tailbone up and lifting. And then exhale fully, roll the tailbone down to the very tip. Feel the lower back begin to lift just slightly. Inhale, take a nice pelvic tilt, lift and lengthen through the tailbone. Exhale, roll down. One more time, inhale, fully pelvic tilt. Exhale and roll it down. This time, we're going to take that pelvic tilt as we inhale, but press down through the soles of your feet and lift your hips up off of the mat. Palms are down, your shoulders are pressing downward, and your heart and upper back gets a little lift here too. Lengthen through your quads, hips are raised a little bit higher, and your knees are pressing forward toward your front of your mat. Breath here, bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. Exhale, release everything down, come down one vertebra at a time as you roll down to the tip of the tailbone. Inhale, press up to bridge pose once again, lifting up strongly through your core. This time maybe squeeze your shoulder blades a little bit together in your upper back, so that you can lift your heart slightly higher. Nice deep breath here. Stay strong in your bridge. Press down through the soles of your feet. Maybe lift those hips a little bit higher. Nice strong bridge. And then exhale, one vertebra at a time. Roll it down slowly all the way to the tip of the tailbone. We're going to do one more bridge pose just like before. So inhale, come back up into your bridge. And then if you like, you can interlace your fingers underneath your hips. Press your knuckles together toward the front and squeeze your shoulder blades together. This gives you the support of your shoulders. You're lifting your collarbones. Everything is engaged here. Nice strong breath in. And as you release, let go of your hands. Roll all the way down to a neutral spine. Let's hug your knees into the chest. Just bring your arms around your knees. Rock and roll back and forth, side to side. Give yourself a nice little massage. I find that always feels really good after a bridge pose. And then go ahead and place your left foot down on the mat. Raise your right foot up and interlace your hands behind your right thigh. Your knee can be bent here or your leg can be straight. We're just going to circle the ankle around. So point the toes as you circle that ankle a couple of times around one direction and then circle it the other way. Notice as you're mindfully making these circles how all of the muscles of the lower leg coordinate together just for this simple action. Go ahead and point the toes, flex your foot. Point the toe, flex the foot. Point the toe and flex the foot. Bring that right foot down. Bring the left foot up, sole of the foot presses upward toward the ceiling, and begin your slow circles with the ankle rotation. Now the ankle is not a ball and socket joint like the hips and shoulders, but we can still do a reasonable facsimile of a circle just because there's so many little bones, and if we really go slow and control them, we can see that we can make a pretty nice circle. Let's go the other direction. Notice that the calves and the shins, all the little bones of the leg working together. Be present and mindful. All right, go ahead and point the toes, flex the foot. Point the toes, flex the foot. Point the toe, flex the foot. Point and flex, and let's bring that left leg down. Go ahead and roll to your side. We're going to roll all the way up and come into a seated position on the mat. Feet are reaching down toward the front. Bring your feet about hip distance apart, so maybe about 4 inches in between your ankles. Ground down through your sits bones. Lift up through your spine. Place your hands on either side of your hips. Fingers are just gently pressing down. Shoulders are back. Your wrists are right underneath your shoulders. Take a breath here in Dandasana or staff pose. On your next inhalation, we'll bring the arms up, keep the lower body in the same position, but lift your arms straight up, fingers reaching skyward. And then as you exhale, fold forward with a flat back, just coming to that point of first restriction as you find your edge. Take a deep breath in, lift your heart, and then as you exhale, bring the heart forward as you deepen your bend. 2 more breaths like this. Keep your feet flexed. Back is nice and flat. Roll the shoulders back and let the shoulder blades drop down towards your waist. 1 more breath here. And inhale, come on up. We'll go into Janu Sirsasana here. So we're going to bring the left foot right to the inner right thigh. Same position as we had before, rounding down, lifting up, and this time we'll fold forward, bringing the hands to either side of the right foot. Roll the left
thigh out toward the outside, as we open the hip in this forward fold. Your chest is reaching down towards your right knee, but it's reaching forward before we're pressing it down. Feel that behind the right knee, feel the hamstring, take it easy. No need to press beyond what feels right for you. And then inhale, slide the hands back and switch legs. So as we come into this position, we want to be cognizant of the outside of the thigh. So we're rolling that part out and down at the same time that we're grounding in the opposite leg. Arms reach up and overhead. Inhale and reach. Exhale and fold. Keep your awareness on that long, lengthened breath. That breath will help you stay present and mindful. It keeps you anchored in this moment, because that is the only moment in which that breath exists. A couple more breaths, folding forward and down. We'll swing the legs around. We're going to come to hands and knees position. Great. From our hands and knees position, we're going to set up in our nice tight square, and we're going to feel the navel lifting up. So I really want you to engage the abs and feel that lower back and get the support from the core. Then we're going to reach the left foot back, reaching it straight back, and the ball of the foot comes down to the mat. The right arm is going to reach forward. So we're extending through the right fingers and left leg, and then lift your left leg up off of the mat if you can. We're going to come into what's called awkward airplanes. We're going to do 3 of these as we bring the leg to the left and the arm out to the right. Back to center. Open and close. Leg goes out to the left, arm goes to the right. One more time. And then bring the arm and the leg down. Press back to a nice sweet child's pose. Let the tailbone just curve down and drip toward the earth. One full breath here. Inhale, come back to tabletop. Bring the navel up once again. Feel the core engaged. We're going to extend the right leg back this time, nice and straight. Left arm reaches forward, thumb is up. Once you feel stable, lift the right leg up, its hip height. And this time we're going to move to the awkward airplane the other side. So leg and arm move out and then back to center. Out, back to center. Out, back to center. One more time. And back to center. Hand comes down, leg comes down. Press back, extended child's pose. One more full breath here. Stay present and mindful for it all. Okay, inhale, come forward. We're going to curl the toes and lift those knees up, press back to downward facing dog. Nice, long, lengthen your dog as you lift the hips up high and press the navel up toward the spine. Really reach and stretch. Biceps are rolling toward the outside of your body, shoulder blades likewise, and that releases the tension on your neck. Lift your heels up high. Press your hips up even higher, and then slowly release your heels down to wherever they naturally fall.
Big breath in. Exhale and release. You're going to walk up to the front of the mat, coming to forward fold. Let your head hang down. Just let it, give it a couple of yes, no shakes. Ooh, let all the tension of the day roll right off of it. And then come on up halfway, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, and then forward fold. Again, inhale, come up, but this time come all the way up. Arms reach up and overhead. Stretch and reach, lift your heels off the mat. Big morning stretch from a standing position. Heel, toe balance, and bring your hands down. Roll your shoulders forward and back. Roll them forward and back. Roll forward and back. Draw the elbows back. Roll them forward. Draw back. Roll forward. Draw back and roll forward. Bring them back to a neutral position. Bring your arms straight up and overhead. Interlace the last 3 fingers and your index fingers point upward as your arms frame your ears. Fold over to your left side, come into a standing crescent. Lift and roll the right shoulder back. Open up the rib cage. Mindful and present. What do you feel right here, right now? How is your breath flowing at this moment? Inhale, bring your arms straight up to center and create your crescent moon on the other side. Feel the left ribs open and engage. Those intercostal muscles in between, getting a beautiful stretch. Roll that left shoulder slightly back as you find a little more space. One more breath. Inhale, arms up, release your hands, and cascade forward, forward fold. Inhale and lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale one more time, come all the way up. Bring your balance and weight into your left leg and raise your right knee up. We're going to bring the right knee slightly out to the right, and we're coming into Dancing Shiva. So the leg is coming out. We're not coming out to a tree. We're bringing it forward. Then we're going to bring the left arm around to the front of the body. The right arm comes up. We look like a little ballerina almost. And then we're going to switch the arms. Switch the arms. Switch the arms. Dancing Shiva. One more time. Switch. Switch. And then the leg comes down. Inhale. Arms come up. Exhale. Cascade forward. Forward fold. Inhale. Come all the way back up. This time bring your weight into your right foot. Left foot raises up. Knee comes slightly out and forward. Right arm comes around to the front. Left arm comes up. Once again, Dancing Shiva. Switch those arms. Switch. 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 It's a little focus and a little balance exercise. One more time. And then bring the left foot down. Arms come up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. This time, inhale, come up halfway, lengthen through your spine. Exhale and fold. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to tabletop position. Lift your right leg up, your right knee up, and begin to make some circles with that right knee. Wide, nice circles around and around. Big, slow, deep circles. And then circle the other direction. Engage your core so that you're not letting or compromising your alignment with rest of the body. One more time, circle that right knee around. Circle it and cross it over the left knee. Feet are pointing in opposite directions, and then we're going to press back, feeling that nice, sweet release on the right hip. Put just a little bit more weight into your right side if you want to feel that stretch a little bit more. Breathe, relax, and notice what sensations you feel here. You're getting warmer. Is the heart beginning to beat a little bit more? Inhale, come forward. Bring your legs back to the starting position, and then lift your left knee up. Circle that leg around, really opening the hip nice and slowly. And the slower we go, the more mindful we can be about where those tension spots exist. And circle that leg around the other way, keeping the other three limbs nice and steady. Just the left knee and leg and hip are moving. All right, circle that around, cross it over the right knee, and press back. Extend your arms. Feel the stretch in the left hip. Nice deep breath in and release. All right, inhale, come forward. Come back to tabletop. We're going to lift the knees off the mat. Press back. Downward facing dog. Walk forward to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Exhale fully. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lift all the way up. Stretch and reach. Lift your heels off the mat. Toe balance. See how high you can get. Core is engaged, keeping you steady. Exhale, heels down, cascade forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift the fingertips. Exhale and fold. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Drop your knees down. Lower the front part of the body all the way. On your next inhalation, inhale, lift your heart. Come into a little back bend for your cobra. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, press back up to plank, nice and strong. And then back to downward facing dog. All right. I'm going to start to move just a little bit more now. So we're going to take the right foot forward between the hands, coming to a low runner's lunge. We're going to do quite a bit here with our lunge. So I would suggest bringing your blocks into play. It's going to help with the support and the alignment during this series. So as we come into low runner's lunge, test your alignment. Lift up through the back of the thigh on the left side and make sure that that left leg has a nice, strong support. Bring your left hand forward. Your thumb is up. Right hand is planted on the block. And then we're going to open that left arm up so we come into our twisting position. And then we're going to rotate it all the way back, reaching toward the back of our mat. And then circle it back around, reaching forward once again. Inhale, lift the hand up. Come into our traditional twist. Rotate the arm back and behind, reaching toward the back. And then back around to the front. One more time. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, go slowly. And then back around to the front. This time left hand comes back to your block. Lower the left knee. Keep both hands on your blocks here for a moment. Uncurl the left toes. And just let your pelvis reach down your tailbone and your pelvic floor is reaching down toward the mat. So we're just really releasing through the groin, through that left psoas. Feel that stretch. Be present for everything that you feel. One more breath here. And then from this same position, we're going to use the upper body to lift up. Arms are going to reach straight up and down. Heart is open. Decide for yourself if you want to take a slight back bend in this low crescent lunge. And then hands come back down to the block. Lift the left knee back up again. Come into our traditional low runner's lunge. And we're going to use our strength now to lift up to high lunge. So engage your core, inner thighs, and then lift yourself all the way up if you can. Arms reaching all the way up. Beautiful high crescent Ashtha Chandrasana. Nice breath here. You've got this. Strong legs, strong core. Present for it all. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the blocks. You can take them off the blocks now because we're going to slide the right foot back, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, drop your knees, and press back, extended child. One full breath here. Next inhalation, come forward on your mat, hands and knees. Press back, downward facing dog. Walk forward, come to the front of your mat. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, and fold. Inhale, reach those arms up and over. Beautiful flowing posture, reaching upward toward the sky. And then exhale, cascade forward. Once again, fold. Inhale, lift up to fingertips. Exhale and fold. Step back with your right leg to your low runner's lunge. Going through that sequence on the other side. So go ahead and bring your blocks back. Lift up through that thigh, feel your strength engage. Make sure that you've got your alignment in place. And then we're going to reach the right arm forward. Thumb is up, palms facing toward the left. Inhale, lift it up, coming into our lunging twist. And then reach it back as we rotate that arm all the way toward the back. Circle it around, bring it forward. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, rotate around, and then reach it back forward. One more time. Back, and then reach it forward. Beautiful. Bring the hand right back down to the block. Lower the right knee, and just pause here for a moment as you uncurl the toes and let your right psoas, hip flexor, get a nice stretch here. We're just letting it fall down, feeling really all the stretching is occurring just by letting go of the pelvic region. Breathe here. One more breath. And then we're going to engage the upper body. Lift it up once again. Reach those arms up. Your lower core and your inner thighs are really supporting you here. Nice breath, and then decide if you want to exhale into your back bend. Bring your hands up, around, and back down to the blocks. Lift your right knee back up, come to that low runner's lunge as we transition to high lunge. Prepare by feeling your core engage. And then lift yourself up strongly, both arms reaching up. Nice deep breath here, feel strong. Exhale, hands are gonna come down. We're gonna go back to downward facing dog. So take your hands off the blocks. Slide the left leg back. Press back. Ardha Mukha Shavasana. Inhale, come forward, drop your knees. Press back, extended child or full child, Balasana. Let's take 2 full breaths here. Very nice. All right, come on forward. Check our time. Okay. Let's press down through the palms. We're going to lift up, downward facing dog. I have one more moving sequence for us. So we're going to walk forward to the front of the mat. Come to forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and fold. Inhale, all the way up. Reach those arms up and over. And then hands are going to come down to your heart. We're going to step back with the left foot and come into a warrior 2. So open the hips to the left side of the mat. Dip into the front right knee. Arms come open. Beautiful warrior. You've been strong through this practice. You can feel great about your warrior tendencies right now. And then we'll go ahead and straighten the front right knee. We're going to move into triangle. So we'll reach out over the front right toes, just as we did yesterday. Windmill the arms down. Come into triangle, Trikonasana. From triangle, we're going to transition by bringing the left hand down, reaching it toward one of those blocks. Then reach your other block. And then we're going to square the hips toward the front by slightly bringing the left foot a little bit more to the left. So before they were in a line, now they're more or less on train tracks. Lengthen through the spine. Press your right hip back, left hip forward as we are in pyramid pose now. Breathe here. From pyramid, we're going to bend the front knee and then lift up to warrior 1. Both arms reaching forward. Hips and body are square to the front. From warrior 1, bring your hands to your heart. Shift your weight forward onto your right leg. Lift your left leg up. And move into warrior 3 with hands at the heart. It's okay if you lose your balance. Happens to me all the time. Bring that left foot down and forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen through the spine with a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach those arms up and overhead, and then bring your hands down to the heart once again. One breath here in mountain pose. And then we're going to step back with the right leg this time. Coming into warrior 2. Open those arms up. Graceful, peaceful warrior. Straighten the front right leg. Reach out over your left, I said right leg, it's left leg. Straighten your left leg and reach out over your left toes. Windmill the arms down, come into triangle. You can always use that block to assist in your triangle alignment. And then bring the right hand down. Rotate your torso and heart toward the front. Hop your right foot slightly to the right, giving your legs once again back on train tracks.
Lengthen through the spine, press your left hip back, right hip forward. All right, from pyramid or Parsvottanasana, we're going to bend to the front left knee. Lift your body up, and we'll find ourselves in Warrior One. So getting all three warriors in this little sequence here. And then from Warrior One, hands come back down to your heart. Weight shifts forward onto your left front foot. Lift your right foot up, press it back behind you. Warrior Three with hands at the heart. Try to lengthen through that spine. Try to engage the core, your glutes, hold steady. And then bring the right foot down beside the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale and fold. Let's step back. Downward facing dog. Come on forward, drop down to your knees. And we're going to swing the legs around. Come back up in front and come into a seated position. Believe it or not, I had like 4 more things built into that last sequence. I don't know what I was thinking this afternoon. Clearly, that was a little too much. All right, so we're going to move into Ardha Matsyendrasana, or half lord, the fish poses, which is a really nice internal rotation of the hips after we've done all of the external. So we're going to bring the left foot near the right hip. So bend the knee, bring that foot over near the right hip. Right foot crosses over the left and plants down. So snuggle your sits bones right down into the mat, lift up. And before you even start your twist, think about those vertebrae getting stretched up and creating lots of space in between each one as you lift your head up. All right, once you have that space in place, we'll take the left arm and bring that left arm over the outside of the right thigh. Keep that lengthening going on. Bring the right hand behind the back, and then you can begin twisting from your belly. Eventually, bringing the heart around to face the right side of the mat. But using that mindful breath to gauge how far you should go and when you have additional space available. Eventually you may be able to look over your right shoulder, but it doesn't matter. I want you to feel this twist. I want you to think about what's going on inside the body. Bringing out all of the toxins that need to be flushed. Invigorating the back and spine. One more breath. And then gently and slowly bring yourself around to the front. Unwind your legs, and we'll go the other side. So right foot comes back next to your hip. Left foot crosses over. Find the length first. Right arm crosses over the outside of your left thigh. Left arm comes around to the small of the back. Keep that length in place and then begin the twist. Just as before. Breath work, stay present for it all. Every sensation,
more breath here. Come back around to the front. Slowly unwind. Bring your feet back out. Let's go ahead and roll all the way down. So once you come down onto your back, you're going to take the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Coming into eye of the needle pose, interlace your fingers behind the left thigh and press your right knee toward the front of the mat. Breathe. Release. Keeping your legs in the same place, bring the left foot down. We're going to bring the arms into a T off the shoulder. But with those legs in the same position, we're simply going to roll over to the left hip and bring the right foot. The sole of the right foot is going to aim right down toward the floor. Make sure this feels comfortable, and if it does, and if you're okay, you can take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh and just ever so gently guide that thigh a little closer to the floor. Rolling perhaps a little bit more over on the hip, but do keep your right shoulder planted. So I really want you to feel this as it's coming around the back side of your glutes and the lower back on the right side. That lower lumbar should get a little stretch, but it shouldn't be painful. It should just feel like a really nice deep stretch right into the sacrum. More breaths right here. Inhale. Engage your lower abs. So draw your navel in so you feel the core engage, and then roll your hips back up to neutral. When you really use the core there, you're going to protect the lower back as you're making those transitions. Bring the right foot down, and then we'll set up on the other side. So first coming into eye of the needle pose, interlace your fingers behind your right thigh and press that left knee toward the front of the mat. This is also called supine pigeon, and if you ever find that pigeon is a difficult pose for you either now or in the future, and you're in a yoga class, then this is considered to be the supine version of pigeon. As you can tell, it's still giving a nice opening in the hip. So very often you'll see folks in a yoga class that opt for this version of pigeon versus going down on the floor. Just know that that's always available. Alright, and then we're just going to release the right foot down. Keep your legs in the same position though. Arms reach out into a T. And then just slowly roll over onto your right hip and see if you can bring the left sole of the foot down to the floor or close to it. Again, if this feels comfortable, feel free to take your right hand to the outside of the left thigh and gently coax it a little further down. offering support, offering a suggestion. Couple more breaths here. See if you can relax through the lower back. And release that thigh and your core into play as you roll back up, safely coming back to neutral. And we are going to come into Shavasana. I'm going to offer, since we have this blanket folded like we had it before, I thought it might feel good to come into a little restorative fish pose. Maybe it's just what my body was craving. So I was just going to bring that blanket up under the chest, not folded very high at all, just a little bit of a lift. And if you think that would feel good for you, you can move that direction. If you want to just lay straight out on the mat, of course, that's your option. Or you may want to take that blanket and put it underneath your knees. Listen to your body always. Follow what it is suggesting to you. Choice you make, see if you can come into a sense of mindfulness and presence. Each beautiful moment existing as the only thing, the only thing that truly exists. Stay here about 5, maybe 3 or 4 minutes.
chest. You may want to roll off of that just very softly. Release down for just a moment before transitioning all the way up. Letting your chest just relax. Feeling the weight of your body. And noticing the change in your body now compared to when you began this practice. Perhaps you feel warmer, maybe a little calmer, less distracted. Whenever you're ready, you can begin to bring your knees in and hug them around the chest and come on up to a seated posture. Arrive on the mat, let's open the arms up, draw them up and overhead, gaze upward towards your thumbs, and then follow that path of your hands down to the heart center. Present moment, wonderful moment. May you stay calm, relaxed, mindful and present the rest of your evening and beyond. Thank you so much for practicing tonight, and namaste.